Hello and welcome to Pearls of Parmenice. My name is Courtney and I'm coming to you from Parma, Ohio, where I live with my husband and all of our yarn. Today is Friday, December 9th, and it is a beautiful sunny day outside here in Northeast Ohio. It was not supposed to be sunny, but it is gorgeous. So we will see what today brings. Plans may change in a good way. You can find me on Instagram, Ravelry, and my Pokemon friend code. Pokemon Go friend code will be linked down below. I am most active over on Instagram, so if you are on Instagram, follow me there. Right now, every day, pretty much every day, I am opening my Fangirl Fibers and Kanto advent calendar over there. So if you'd like to see that, that's where I'm going to be showing those reveals or openings or whatever you want to call them. All right, how have you been? I've been good. It's been a very busy 2 weeks. Lots going on, mostly good things, just I don't know where the time is going. It is flying, absolutely flying. Today I am wearing, this is an older one. This is the Forest Floor Cowl. I'm looking over there because I have some notes. This is the Forest Floor Cowl by Gabrielle Matthews. I test knit this for her in early 2021. I was not great about making project pages at the time. It was my first test knit, and if I'm remembering right, I didn't really understand how it worked with putting stuff on Ravelry so that people couldn't see it with it being a test knit. So I just didn't put it on there, which was a surprise this morning when I went to look up what this was. So Forest Floor Cowl by Gabrielle Matthews, and it is knit in, the dyer is MicroFibers. And I don't know if there's a base name. I tried to find that out and I don't think there is, but it's just a worsted superwash merino, and it was a Schitt's Creek inspired colorway. We're so surprised, right? Called Roland. So inspired by the character Roland. It's a really lovely, quick little cowl. If you still need a holiday gift, this would be a great pattern to check out. It's got some moss stitch. It's got a little bit of ribbing at the top. And what I love, it has, my preview thing went away. There we go. We can't see because of my hair. It has a little, we cannot see because of my hair. Okay, there we go. It has a little bit of a split hem here at the bottom, which makes it lay so nicely in the front. It doesn't bunch up too much, which I really, really love. So if you're still looking for a quick little gift knit, or it's getting colder where you are and you just need a little something, check this pattern out. All right, this one is going to be a fast one, I think. I have a lot of knitting to get done today, and my husband is coming home early from work. Today's his work holiday party, and in the past they've done this as an after work event in the evening, but this year they're doing something a little bit different and are starting it at work at noon, and I guess you can leave whenever the party's over or something. I don't know. So he may be home early, so I want to get this filmed and edited before he gets back home. So finished objects. This is, you'll find out why else I need to do this a little faster than usual today. So you guys saw this last time, but I just wanted to show it again because I did put my leather tab on it, and I tacked down the cuff here in front just so that it would stay rolled. But this is the Polar Bear Stroll stocking, the knit version by Briana K Designs. She also has a crochet version of this one. So if you're not a knitter, you're more a crocheter, or you would prefer to crochet a stocking, she's got you covered. This is knit out of This one is Picks City Tweed DK, and I held it double because you can go to my last episode to hear about my ordering fiasco. Not Nitpicks' fault at all. Totally my fault. Anyway, ordered the wrong thing. So the white is Snowbank, the gray is Orca, and the blue is Coastal. And I held that double. The only modification I made on this one is I knit this strip of stockinette, and then I duplicate stitched my nephew's name on here. And if you're new here, you might not know, I'm knitting stockings for one of my sister-in-law's kids. She has 3, so 2 nieces, 1 nephew, and I'm knitting each of them a stocking for Christmas. So this is my nephew's stocking. My next finished object is another stocking. Surprise, surprise. And this is my baby niece. You might remember I knit her a sweater earlier this year. Nina, this is her stocking, and I just love how this one came out. So this is Picks City Tweed Aran, held single, like it's supposed to be. The pattern is the Prancing deer stocking, the knit version. There is a crochet version of this one as well, again by Briana K Designs. And I put this leather tab on there. All I do, somebody asked if a friend of mine asked if I bought like pre-made ones, and I do not. I bought, last year I made stockings, some for myself that I wanted leather tabs for. And I bought like a big spool of just a leather strip and a leather punch from Amazon. And I just cut off what I need as I need it, punch holes in it, and just stitch it on there. I tacked her cuff down as well so that it wouldn't roll up. And I just love it. There's a crochet version of this one too. So again, you could easily crochet this guy. This one, the off-white is Snowshoe. The gray is Orca. And oh, this like reddish color is, I believe, Bloodstone? Blood Moon? Bloodstone? We'll go with Bloodstone. That sounds right. I didn't take as great a show notes for myself as I normally do this week, but that's okay. Again, the only modification that I made to this was the stockinette area, and then I duplicate stitched her name on there. So I am so pleased with how these have turned out. I think they're going to be really lovely and really nice little heirloom pieces. They're similar, but they're not the same. And then this is the other reason I need to not sit and babble for an hour today. I have to finish the last stocking. I had fully intended to have it done by today to show you all the finished stocking. And I just lost steam. It just didn't happen. But I'm pretty close. I can finish this up easily today. So this is the Scamper stocking by Marley Bird. And it might look a little bit familiar because I did make one of these for myself earlier in the year that I still need to finish. Yeah, well, let me talk about what it's knit out of, and then we'll get to all my modifications. So the white here is again Snowbank. This is all Picks City Tweed DK held single. This is Primrose, this pinky color here. And then this purple is Plum Wine. There is a difference between the Bloodstone and the Plum Wine. There you can kind of see this one's more of a red and this one's more of a plum. But yeah, I love this stocking. So I still have to put the heel in. I did the forethought heel in the pattern, but I put slightly less forethought into it than the pattern called for. But I need to splice in the heel, and I need to duplicate stitch her name on here. And I'm not sure what else I'm going to do with this. So the pattern has some optional, wow, words are hard today, optional duplicate stitching that you can do where you do this primrose on the center of the flower, not the plum part, but on this white portion. And you do that on all the flowers, and then these like little blippy snowflake kind of things, you also a duplicate stitch in that primrose color. I love that idea. I definitely am going to do that on my stocking. I don't know that I'm going to have time to do it on hers. I would really like to get these out to the kids this weekend, so they have them in time to actually enjoy them during the holiday season and have them hanging up and stuff. So I just don't know if I want to spend that much time, if it's worth the time it would take for me to do that for this stocking. So my modifications, I added this primrose strip so that I could put her name on it. The pattern calls for 1 Latvian braid, but I liked the idea of doing 2 to kind of frame her name. I thought that would be really pretty, and I'm very happy with that choice. And then you're supposed to do the heel and toe in the Snowbank color, but because I'm not sure if I'm going to do the duplicate stitch, I decided to go ahead and do the toe, and I think I'm definitely going to also do the heel in that primrose, just to tie it together in case I opt not to do that additional duplicate stitching. I've also played around with the idea of just doing the blips or just doing the flower centers, but with the duplicate stitch, I'm not sure. I think we'll just pop the heel in, put her name on, see what I think, and see how long it takes. This has not been blocked. I'll block it once I do those things, and then after it blocks, I will add the little tab, and it'll be good to go. So I don't think you'll see this one again, but I am hoping to sit down this weekend. No, I'm not hoping. I will. I will sit down this weekend, and I will duplicate stitch mine and get it finished so that you guys can see it and so that it's done. But yeah, so that's the Scamper stocking by Marley Bird with several modifications. That's not really a finished object though. That's a work in progress. That's like a close-ish project. Okay, next up, let's see. I have 2 new cast-ons, I think, since I saw you last. And one that you guys have seen quite a few times. We'll go with this one. It's closer to me. We'll take a break from some Christmas stuff. So this is living in my ginger root bag. And this is my 2022 knit turkey trot. And this is a pattern by Marley Bird. I talked about it quite a bit in my last podcast, but I hadn't cast it on at that point. And she does a mystery knit along every Thanksgiving weekend every year. And I've participated every year. I don't always finish by okay, let's back up. I never finish by the deadline. Maybe one year. I just never do. But I always work on it that weekend. It's really, really fun. I really love it. So I can talk about it because it's a spoiler alert, I guess, if you are doing it and have somehow managed to miss spoilers because it ended. Kudos to you if you managed to do that. But I just finished Clue 2 and started Clue 3, and I haven't picked it up lately because I've been working on those stockings It's been the majority of my knitting time over the past couple of weeks, but I did manage to get this much done. I'm gonna hold it. This is very attractive right there. I absolutely love it. These are not colors I would normally choose. I don't really know why I chose these colors, but I did. And I am so pleased. Oh, it looks so good on camera. So this is a new yarn by Knit Picks. It is Upcycled Alpaca. And this is the worsted weight version. So the kind of light beige is called Parchment. The brown is Biscotti, and the blue is Azul. So I'll get that a little closer so you can see. There were a couple of options for the knit version. There was a color blocked option with some texture called the, I think, Holiday design or Holidays. Or you could opt to do stranded color work and do the poinsettia design. And I chose the color work, and I'm so glad I did. I absolutely love this. So it's going to be a cowl, like a big, I don't know, I'm not good with like fashiony names, but obviously it's quite wide. It's going to be big and kind of get smaller as it goes up, but it is just stunning. This is, I've seen some finished ones. They are gorgeous, gorgeous. And yeah, this has been a joy to knit on. It has been so much fun. And yeah, I cannot wait to finish it. There's the back. I'll show you that too. So during the turkey trot, up through December 5th, I think, the pattern was free on Marley's website. It now is available. There is a paid version available, I believe. If you go to Marley's Facebook page, I know that she has information about it there, and I believe she does have some information about it on her website, marleybird.com. So, which I'll link that down below. But I would highly recommend buying that pattern. It is lovely. I cannot wait to finish it. The yarn is really nice too. Let me see, do I have one of the tags in here? I can tell you what the composition is. Yeah, so it's Upcycled Alpaca Blend. And it says limited edition, so I don't really know what that means, how long they'll have this for. But it's 33% alpaca, 34% wool, and 33% acrylic. It's lovely. It is absolutely lovely to work with. The yarn has a really nice kind of high twist. You can see there on the parchment. So that was really fun. I worked on that a lot Thanksgiving weekend. Had a blast. I wish I could have worked on it more, but I was mostly knitting those stockings. So I'll get back to it. Let's go here next. So you guys have seen this quite a bit, and it seems like every time I show you, I only have made a very, very tiny bit of progress. But I did take this as my take-along project to work a couple of days, I think last week, and I managed to get a couple of repeats done-ish. So there was my little ghost guy the last time, and this is my Throwing It Back shawl by Cozy Up Knits. This was their mystery knit along for this year, which started January 1st. And their one for next year, of course, will be starting here in a few weeks. So I need to finish this one so that I can start that one when it is time. I rarely finish mystery knit-alongs on time. Just life happens, and that's the way it goes. But that's okay. I really enjoy just getting to do them, and I don't know. I think they're just fun. I like participating, even though I don't usually finish on time. So I am almost done with, I believe it's clue 3, and I'm on my last repeat of that, and then I'll move on to clue 4. And I think there's only 5 clues for this one. So I think I can easily have it done by the end of the year, just in time to cast on next year's. So I absolutely love this. This is knit in Knit Picks. The minis I know are Stroll, Pucker, I want to say Electric Blue, and Dandelion. And I don't remember what this is. I know it's Knit Picks. I know it's fingering. I can't remember if it's, it's not Stroll, I don't think. I think it's Hawthorne, maybe. I've talked about this in several episodes, and I'll link it down below so you guys will be able to see what it is. But I know the colorway is Pearlescent. But anyway, there is that. Slowly but steadily, we are making progress. And I really love it. I love these colors. It's going to be so nice and it's just going to be really nice. If you are new here, I love a good neon. I love a good bright. Like, this is just, I just love it. I don't knit a lot with neutrals. I don't knit a lot with muted colors. I love green and I love neons. So, yeah. It's not that I don't dislike neutrals. I just get bored. This is not boring. Anyway, there we go. So again, that's the Throwing It Back by Cozy Up Knits. And maybe soon that'll be a finished object. Maybe even by my next podcast. Don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that, but maybe. You never know. And it's living in my Avengers bag. My husband got this for me, I think, for Christmas last year. And I have no idea who the bag maker is. And I don't think it says. But anyways, here's my little Avengers bag. And my Throwing It Back shawl. We're doing well with time today. I'm doing a very good job not rambling. Okay. You guys have seen this bag. We've talked about it, but I hadn't cast it on yet. So the bag is by Faith's Thread. It was part of a box by Fangirl Fibers that she did last year. And it was The Office Christmas themed. So there's Dwight with his elf outfit on, and it says Happy Holidays from Dunder Mifflin. And the inside is this like candy kind of stripe. And I probably should have done this one sooner actually, because I have a half object. This wasn't even cast on last time. You saw it. But look, you guys. So this was a sock set by Fangirl Fibers last year. I think called Dunder Mifflin Holidays, or Dunder Mifflin for the Holidays. And she included minis that were green and red. And for this one, I decided to do green heels and toes, or cuffs and toes, and a red heel. And on my second sock, I am doing the opposite. So I'm doing red cuffs and toes, and then I'll pop a green heel in. So, yeah, this should tell you how busy I have been, because I've mostly only knit on these at social things for the most part. And this flew off of my needles. I had so much fun knitting this sock, like so much fun. One thing I want to show you guys, just because I think it's funny and I think it's really cute. I don't know why the yarn pulled like that, but I have this little square of just white. I just think it's kind of funny. But I love the color distribution, especially in the leg. It just, they're so much fun. So I am also hoping to have these done maybe by the end of next weekend. I would love to have these totally done and normally I save things to show on the podcast, but these are Christmas socks. I'm going to just start wearing them. I will show them next time, finished, hopefully, for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and wear them because 'tis the season. So anyways, I'm just doing my usual kind of vanilla sock pattern. I just do 64 stitches. I knit my socks 9-inch circulars. I am a 9-inch circular girl all day. 2x2 ribbing on the cuff. I did a slip stitch heel flap. I'm a heel flap and gusset person. I prefer cuff down. I've knit them cuff down, toe up, 2 at a time, 1 at a time. Short row heel. I mean, I've played around, but this has kind of become my sweet spot. I really love the fit I get with this sock, and I really love the way, I don't know, I just really love the process. I'm typically a product knitter, not a process knitter, so when I find a process that I really enjoy, I kind of like to not deviate too much from that. So anyway, there we go. I could have put this on a blocker. I've been really bad about putting my socks on blockers to show you guys recently, but that's okay. Next time I will maybe remember. So there is that. And I just showed you, there's not a lot to show on the other one. It's really just this cuff. I thought I would be a lot further. I had a work meeting yesterday and I thought, oh, this is perfect. It's a Zoom meeting. And I thought, all right, great. I should be able to get an inch or two done on this leg during that meeting. Y'all, I ended up being the note taker. So I got like 1 row done. I got like 1 row done in that meeting. So it was a little disappointing, but that's okay. I at least got my cuff finished beforehand. And it's all ready for all of my weekend plans, which will involve a lot of time for sock knitting. So there's that. Again, just vanilla sock. The yarn is by Fangirl Fibers. It wouldn't be a Pearls of Parmadise podcast if we didn't have at least 1 pattern by Marley Bird and 1 Fangirl Fibers yarn thing. Just, that's the way it goes around here. And, oh, I have 1 more, which I like. Yana from Finnish Knitting Stories, she says blankets aren't whips. They don't count as whips. So this is not a whip. It's a long-term project, which it really is. So this is my Cozy Memories blanket. You have been seeing this a lot lately. Let me back up. And I am really, really, really enjoying this project right now. There's something about fall and winter and Christmas and the tree and all of that that just makes me want to knit on this project. Every year since I started it, that's when this gets the most love, is like November, December, and very early January. And then it'll sit in a basket and get pulled out very sporadically through the rest of the year. But I finished, I think I was on this square last time. I did finish that one up. I've knit this square since you last saw it. And I am working on this one right now. This is just a really great project for me to work on when I'm watching Vlogmas, when I'm just curled up on the couch chatting with my husband, or whatever. And it's just so cozy. It's the time of year when I want a little bit of a blanket on my lap or a little something covering me while I'm knitting. And it's just, it's lovely. So I only need 1 more square in this row, and then we'll move on to the next one. I'm not really sure exactly how big I want this blanket. I know I want it to be very large. So right now my rows are not very long. I will add columns as I go. But because I haven't quite determined exactly how long I want it or how big in general, I'm just kind of going with it. I don't really know. It's just a fun long-term project. So, and the version that I'm knitting is, there's a ton of different Cozy Memories mitered square blankets. Like, there's a lot. The version I'm doing is by Shelley DuPont of, I believe, Polka Dot Creek or Creek Garden Crafts. One of the two. I don't remember. Anyway, Shelley DuPont. And it's just really lovely. One thing, I don't know if other people do, but when I run out of yarn, because sometimes the minis like are just not quite long enough, I plug in scraps from other minis that I know are not big enough to do a full square. So that's why some of them have like a weird corner, just trying to use stuff up. And I think it makes it look more scrappy and more homespunny, and I really love that. I really love that. So, okay. You guys have seen that. You've heard a lot about it. There's my Cozy Memories. That's all I have for whips. So we're going to move on to stash additions, which kind of goes into life update. So they're just sort of going to be combined, I guess. So last Saturday, my husband and I went for a little date afternoon to Lodi, Ohio, which really is not very far. It's in the county I work in. It's far from our house, not far from my work, really. But anyways, it is also 10 minutes from, well, technically my parents' campsite, I think, is technically in Lodi. I don't know. My parents have a seasonal campsite. They've been out there, I think 5 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, that they have in the summer. And I found a yarn store 10 minutes away. I'd been kind of wanting to go to this store for a while, and I looked on the website. Their hours are not convenient for me, and it's a little bit far from my house. It's like an hour from my house. So it's just not one that is around the corner or that I'm going to visit very often from home, but it's 10 minutes from that campsite. You better believe this summer I'm going to be in here all the time. The website they don't sell online. There's not a lot of information. So I also hadn't previously wanted to spend time going to a yarn store that I didn't know what it was like or if it was worth the drive. And a friend of mine went to this store a few weeks ago, and she told me about it, showed me her pictures, and I was blown away, and I knew I had to go visit. It looked so much bigger than I had thought. And she told me, well, December 3rd, there's going to be a truck show with a dyer there. You might want to try to go that day. And I was like, great, I already have an event I'm going to that evening out that way. Perfect. So we went on a little date day to Lodi. We went to Books and Brew, which is a little used bookstore and cafe, had gingerbread lattes, hung out there for a little bit. And then we went to the yarn store, which is a few doors down. From the outside, it looks so teeny tiny. Like there's no, I don't know. It looks so small. If you didn't know about it, you might even just totally drive past and miss it. I would have totally missed it if I didn't know it was there. So it's called Black Locust Farms, and it does not look like a farm. So if you're looking for a farm, you're totally going to miss it. And it's this tiny hole in the wall, but you walk in. It is so much bigger on the inside. They had a great selection, like tons of yarn. The store was organized really well. Without having ever been there, I could kind of figure out the lay of the land. It was really, really lovely. And the dyer was there. Her name, I believe, is Laura. I hope I'm getting that right, Laura. From, now I can't remember the name of her company. Yes, Pearl Talk. And I got to meet her and look at her yarn and squish all her yarn. And we walked around the store. All of the ladies in the store fell head over heels in love with my husband. He doesn't knit, but he is quite knowledgeable about yarn and knitting and things like that. He watches podcasts with me and listens to me ramble about yarn and knitting all the time. He likes going to yarn stores with me. He likes going to festivals. He's great. He carries my yarn. He pays for the yarn. It's great. It's great. So I was talking to the dyer and some other ladies, and he came over and he goes, "Hey, sweetie, I just found some skeins of DK that would make a really great fade. Wow, I can't talk. These ladies were like, "Oh, he speaks the language." And he does. So anyways, I was like, okay, well, what are they? So I'll show you what he put together. These. And he's not wrong. They will make a really great fade. I was not intending to buy 3 skeins of DK, but here we are. He bought them. He loves them. And so I think what these will eventually become is the Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West. It's a pattern. He's kind of wanted one for a while. But I haven't really had the right yarn, or we've gone to another pattern, but I think this is going to become that. So these 3 skeins are all by Destination Yarn. I'll show you. That's their tag there. And it's DK weight, all 100% superwash merino. This one, the color is Harvest Moon, which is really, really pretty. This one is called November Witch. It's got those blues and browns and greens, which these are good colors on him too. And this one is called Frozen Great Lake. I love this skein. So anyways, he had to have these. So I'm going to make him something out of that. Like I said, probably the Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West. I don't have anything else in mind that would, I think that's what these are going to grow up to be. So, but we'll see. So that's my first stash edition. Thanks, Mason. Okay. We'll go backwards. So while he was over putting together this fade, I was talking to Laura, and I had been on her website multiple times during the week prior to going to the store, going to the trunk show, just to get an idea of what I wanted. I hadn't worked with her yarn or bought her yarn before, or even maybe had seen it. I'm not sure if I had ever seen it in person. So I had really looked, and I was trying to be good. I was trying to figure out what I wanted ahead of time. I wasn't about to buy 3 skeins of DK. That was not into that day's plan. So in my defense, and I bought more minis. Are we surprised? No, we're not surprised. We are not surprised at all. Look at these. I mean, they're bright colors. Again, are we surprised? No, we're not. And so this is one of her mini skein sets. Again, she used Pearl Talk. These are the Soxy 6. It's a 6-color mini skein set. They kept asking me what my plans were for this. I don't know. I have no idea. I just love them. Like, look at this. Look how fun these are together. So I don't know what I'm going to do. This is the Shiny Bright Holiday set. And I do have a couple of ideas. So Kay from Crazy Sock Lady just, I think this week or maybe last week, released a new sock pattern called, I think, the Candy Cane Lane socks. Oh, they're so cute. And I was like, oh, those would be nice with these. I'd have to buy a main color though. Anyway, those would be nice with these. Or I could save them. Or Laura showed me on her Instagram a little sweater garland that she had made. And I've wanted a not Christmassy necessarily, but just wintry. I've wanted to make some wintry decor pieces to hang up. So maybe I'll do something like that with this. Maybe it will just go into my collection of minis that I'm supposed to be using up next year. Maybe I'll put it in a shawl. Maybe I'll put it in socks. I don't know. They're just really pretty and they're minis and I love bright colors and I love minis. So that's what I got from her. Because I had thought, okay, I can buy one thing from her and I can buy one other skein. And the other skein, it was not at all hard to decide. The second I saw this, I knew I wanted it. I knew that it was coming home with me. So this is West Yorkshire Spinner's Signature 4-ply. And it's a Christmas sock yarn. This is the colorway Hollyberry. And it's a 75-25 wool nylon blend. I believe it's non-superwash wool. And look how pretty that is. And it's like a self-striping, self-patterning kind of sock yarn. I've wanted to try West Yorkshire Spinner's sock yarn for a long time. I had seen on the Woolly Thistle podcast, Shopcast, which if you don't watch that one, go check it out. They are, Corrine and Maggie are absolutely lovely to watch. They, I always learn something from them. They have contacts in Shetland, a woman named Rachel who raises sheep on the island of Shetland, I think. Is it Shetland or is it Fair Isle? Well, anyway, one of those two. Anyway, it's just, I always learn things. But they have shown the West Yorkshire Spinner's Signature 4-ply yarn multiple times in their Christmas colorways. And every time I'm like, oh, I really want it, but I shouldn't order more yarn. This didn't count though. I didn't order it. I just bought it. So anyways, I think I had originally thought, when I'm done with those Dunder Mifflin holiday socks, maybe I'll knit these up. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to save this for next year or maybe Christmas in July. Because by the time those are done, I'll be far enough through the season, I think, that I won't want to do that. I have other things I really need to finish too. So I think these are just going to go in my stash for next year. So this, wow, okay. But anyways, I just love that. And again, the yarn shop is Black Locust Farms in Lodi, Ohio. If you are in the area, they do have pretty limited hours. I think they're only open a few days a week. So definitely hop on the website, check the hours. I would highly recommend stopping in. The ladies were so friendly and really had a lovely selection, both commercial yarns, hand-dyed yarns, lots of weights, linen, cotton, wool, all the things. It was really a lovely shop. So I would highly recommend checking them out if you're in the area. So stash additions. Note, I was being so good. I was limiting myself to this. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. So life update. I think that's all I have left. We are doing okay-ish on time. All right. Past couple weeks are busy. I talked to you last on Thanksgiving. We had a lovely Thanksgiving. My parents and my brothers came over. My mom had cooked most of the meal. We had a really nice time. We played some games. We hung out. It was just a really nice, really quiet Thanksgiving. Black Friday, one of my brothers slept over Thanksgiving night, and then Black Friday, we all went out for my other brother's birthday. And that was really nice. We went out for Mexican. It was lovely. And then we walked around Home Depot for a while. It's a weird birthday tradition, but that's sort of what we always do after his birthday. We go to Mexican usually, and then we go walk around Home Depot. It's just what we do. Then I worked on that Saturday. And that Saturday evening, we went to the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, which is our local zoo. It's about 10 minutes from our house, with our friends Tyler and Chloe to look at their Christmas light display. We went around the whole thing twice. It was awesome. We had a great time. Got a lot of really nice pictures. Just had fun spending time together and hanging out. Getting hot chocolate. We went on the zip line, which was so cool. You could see the whole zoo all lit up, and you could see downtown lit up. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. We always have fun with them. So that was really great. And then that Sunday, my back wasn't letting me do much of anything. So that Sunday was a rough day a little bit. I have severe scoliosis. I had spinal fusion surgery 15 years ago to correct it, which is great, but it doesn't mean I'm pain-free by any stretch of the imagination. But it did. Anyway, we won't get into all that. But in case you're wondering, that's what my back pain is caused by. Then last week was a regular work week, I think. I don't remember anything super crazy happening during the week. I don't think. Then last Friday was my mom's birthday, so happy belated birthday, Mom. And a group of us were supposed to get together for knit night. A few couldn't make it, so it ended up being myself and my friends Mac and Sarah, and we went to a little coffee shop / wine bar / craft place. I don't really know how to describe it, called the Tangled Vine, and it was really lovely. It was so much fun. We hung out for hours and knit. I got the whole leg of my sock done during knit night, and it was just the best. It was so much fun. So did that Friday night while my husband had guys night across the street at a local bar and restaurant called Geeked Out, which is it's really cool. We're going there this weekend actually, which I'll get to in a second. It's like a geeky fandom-y bar and grill kind of place. And it's really cool. They have Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff, and there are video game consoles with older games at a bunch of the tables, and they have a stage, and sometimes there's live music and stuff. It's a cool place. So if you're ever in the area, check out Geeked Out. And a lot of their menu items are also fandom kind of themed. So he was having guys night over there. So it was very fun for him. And I had knit night with my gals, and that was also fun. Saturday, like I said, we went on our little date day. And then we had the campground Christmas party that evening afterwards. So that was a nice time too. And Sunday, we decorated the house for Christmas, I think. We still have some left to do. I just couldn't do it all in one day. I was dealing with migraine stuff on and off all weekend. So did that. Monday, full-blown migraine. That was no fun. Didn't get anything done Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week were just regular work days, and now it's Friday. I work tomorrow, and then I think, what is tomorrow? Oh, and then we're going to Geeked Out after I get off work to meet with our friends Mark and Rachel and hang out with them. So that will also be a fun time. I should get some knitting done while we're there. And Sunday evening, one of my sisters-in-law is coming over for dinner so that we can celebrate Christmas with her. So fun weekend planned, lots going on. And then as we get closer to the holidays, just things are going to speed by and ramp up really fast here. There's a lot going on. So all good things, and it's going to be great. So that's my little life update. Yeah, I think that's about it. We have a couple more birthdays coming up in my family, and then we're done. Yeah, done for the year. And I think that's about it. So future knitting plans. We totally glossed over this. Totally forgot to talk about it. Well, this is because I'm indecisive. So winter solstice is coming up. If you've been around, I like to just mark the beginning of each season with a special cast on. So I do them at the equinoxes and the solstices. I keep going back and forth on what I'm doing for the winter solstice cast on, which will be just a couple of days before I podcast again. So I have some time to make a decision. And honestly, it's probably just going to come down to what needles I have available at the time, because I have almost cast on quite a few things to discover that I don't have the right needle available. And I've been very good. I have not ordered more needles, so good job me. But yeah. I have a couple of shawls I'm thinking about. I would really like to cast on a cardigan. We'll talk about more next podcast. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a year-end wrap up and look at where I'm going for 2023. I think we'll do that next time. But looking at my wardrobe, I definitely need more sweaters in my wardrobe. I really need to knit more sweaters. I'm trying not to buy any sweaters. I would really like my wardrobe to phase into being primarily handmade. So I'm not buying any sweaters, which means I need to knit them. And I have yarn to knit them. I just need to do it. So I'm kind of thinking for next year, focusing on minis, which we've talked about last episode. Year of the minis and sweaters. But we'll see, because I make these plans and then I get very distracted. So I would love to cast on a sweater. I would really like to cast on, I am blanking on the name. I know what it is. I would really like to get my Monstera cardigan by Joji Locatelli on my needles. I swatched for it quite a while ago, a few months ago, with some yarn that Tina from Tina's Twisted Fibers dyed up for me in the Willow colorway. And I had gone back and forth on whether or not I wanted to follow through on that project. But I really think I do. I know I do. But I need needles available to do that. So that's one. I would also really like to cast on the Party Cardi by Amba O'Brien from last year's, one of my advents from last year, which was by Clark and L. I would really like to get that cardigan on the needles. But I have some shawls I really want to knit too. And some other random little things that I would really like to make. So I have no idea. We will find out. It will be a surprise next time what my winter solstice cast on is. And I'm debating on whether or not I will do a Christmas Eve cast on. I might not. I'm not really sure yet. That will probably be revealed in the next podcast too. So, and that will be our last one for 2022. I don't know where this year has gone, but I am so glad that we've been spending it together. That's been really lovely. And I really appreciate all of you who have joined me on this knitting journey and have wanted to be a part of this knitting community. So I think I will leave you with that. If you are still watching, please give me a like, subscribe. I would love it if you would leave a comment. Tell me what you're working on. What are your knitting plans? What are you thinking about knitting in 2023? Or what are you madly trying to finish up before the end of the year? It really would help boost our little community here. And I just really love hearing from you guys. So, all right. Well, I hope that you all have a great couple of weeks and that you find a little bit of time to knit in your paradise. And I'll be here knitting in my little piece of paradise. Bye.